Hello everyone, welcome back, and today I'm going to be building Glamdring, Gandalf's sword from the Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, completely made out of wood. Let's go. So I started off with this long, flat piece of pine wood, and I used the router tool to make that indent along the middle of the blade that you see in most of the swords from Lord of the Rings. I then chiseled in a square hole into this block of wood, which will be the guard of the sword, and then that will be connected onto the blade through that hole. Right now I'm using a spoke shave to sharpen the sword. This block of wood here is going to be the handle, so I'm just using the plane to carve it, and then here I'm using a knife to get the angles in. And now these three parts are ready to be glued together. Some clips did get lost of me carving the shape on the guard, but I mean, you see the shape of it now. Here I'm drilling a hole in the bottom of the handle so I can fit in a wooden dowel piece there that will fit in the other piece of the handle. Here I am just tidying up the handle a little bit just before we glue the whole thing together and add on that pommel piece at the end. So this piece is the pommel, which is the bottom of the handle, and I'm just drilling a hole in there so I can fit in the rest of that dowel and glue the sword together. So here I'm just gluing the sword together. It fits in quite nice, which is good. After it was all put together, it was just a very long process of adding wood filler and then sanding, and just repeating that a lot to make the sword fully smooth before we paint. Here's just a look at the sword, glued together. It's had quite a lot of wood filler put on and sanded down a lot. It's just ready for paint. And here I'm just tidying it up a little bit more, just so the two bits of the handles just collide nicely and kind of make a flat edge. I'm just giving it one final sand before I paint. Here's just one final look at the sword in all of its glory. I really like how it's shaped. I think I did a pretty good job of that. And it turned out a lot better than I thought it would as well. So for the detail grip on the handle, I used a normal piece of string, and I just super glued that on and had it at kind of an angle, which is how it is in the films. I think I did a pretty good job of that. I have loads of this leather-like material, which is has a nice feel to it. If you can see, it's brown one side and white on the other. We're going to use the white side because then we can paint the colour on top of it. I use this leather in a lot of my projects, like Thor's hammer for the leather strap. I used it for Andor's handle, and now I'm using it for Gandalf's handle. It's a very nice piece of material, and it's very useful. So here I am just cutting it into its shape, and then I glued the brown side on top of the strings so we can paint on top of the white side. So overnight I wrapped 2 pieces of string round the string underneath the leather, just to make the string under the leather So here I'm just giving the inscription a black wash to make it really pop and stand out. So I just put the paint on and then I just lightly rub away the excess, and black paint is then left into the engravings. I do the same thing with the whole sword, so I just go through on the blade and give it a whole black wash to make it look weathered. And with that, it was done. I really like how this sword turned out. I think it's probably one of my favourite swords I've ever made. I really like the way it's shaped as well. It's kind of like a longer version of Sting. I love how that blue turned out. It gives the sword a lot of character. And I think the inscription on the guard looks really good as well. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.